Hey, good morning and greetings from Dallas. It's Sales Coach Chuck with our Chuck's Coaching Corner session of this week. And today is Monday, June 11th. I'm extremely excited to be with you today to share some great insights on some sales tactics for you. Hope you had a great sales week last week, and I hope this week is just as powerful and impactful. This week our title is real simple, is increasing our sales efficiencies through having set sales processes. And you know, as I travel across the country and I work with salespeople and sales management and all points in between those two positions, is that I come across salespeople and I ask them this question. On a scale from 1 to 10, where do you really think your sales efficiencies lie? And really give me an honest answer. And in most cases, what people respond with, and they're very honest and very truthful, is that their sales efficiencies are right around that 3 or 4 area on a scale from 1 to 10. Meaning that, hey, you know what, we all have room for improvement. And so, as I coach salespeople and work with people, you know, my goal is just to increase those efficiencies a couple points. But just think of it, if you double your sales efficiencies, if you're at a level 4 and you get it up to a level 8, hey, what's that going to do to your income? I mean, it's quite obvious what it's going to do. It's going to double. And so one of the things as we look at set sales processes and using set processes to increase our level of efficiencies is, really across the country with most salespeople, they don't have set sales processes. It's more of a wing it kind of thing. It's like being a pilot wondering what the wind and the weather is and, yep, stick your finger out the window of the airplane and try to figure it out. That's how most salespeople are. So today I'm going to give you some great tactics on some things that can help you today put in some sales processes. Now, if you're a sales manager looking at this, you need to take responsibility and get hands-on with your salespeople about making sure that they have those set processes. And salespeople, if you're watching this video today, don't rely on your sales manager to make sure that you have those set processes. You need to put them into place. Now, the first thing I want to give you today is something that came across my computer here recently, and it's an email from a person who is in the mortgage industry, and she had some great new success in her mortgage business through having some set sales processes. Now know this, don't succumb to sales immaturity and say, oh Chuck, hey, that's the mortgage industry, that's never going to work for me. No. Take the information that I'm giving you here today and change it and modify it so it works for your sales processes. Okay, here's what I found out about this young lady in the mortgage industry and her sales processes. And this is what she does from the day of closing. And then I'm going to back you up to the beginning processes of working with a client. So this is what she did as soon as she closed a deal. She sends a thank you card and a gift certificate on closing day. 15 days after, she does a follow-up phone call to discuss referrals. 30 days afterwards, she mails a thinking of you card with a $25 gift certificate to Home Depot or Bed Bath & Beyond, and she adds a little post-it note about referrals. 60 days later, she sends a letter on company letterhead letting them know about other services that she provides, and she reminds them once again about referrals. On the 90th day, she pays a visit to the client personally. She brings her camera and she takes pictures of their family and their new home. This often leads to an invitation to a birthday party or other special event where she can make more contacts, hence more referrals. 6 months down the road, she does a follow-up call to ask if they have any questions and discuss referrals. 9 months down the road, she sends a postcard reminding them that their 1-year anniversary of their loan is approaching and to see if they'd like to schedule an annual review. And then at 1 year, she sends an anniversary card and thanking them for supporting her business. Now look at that. That's a great sales process. So many of you might be thinking, well, gosh, how do I track all that? You know what? It's as simple. It's as simple as wherever you're at in that process and you need to put those set days into place, is where do they go? They go into Microsoft Outlook. I mean, how simple can we get to go ahead and propagate the calendar? And look at this. She's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She has 7 points of contact over 12 months. Simple to do, simple not to do as well. So again, utilize the strength of Microsoft Outlook, or if you're using Act or Goldmine or some other scheduling device, hey, get it in there And well, first of all, get that set process done, and then implement it into your calendar so you know exactly what it is that you're doing. Now, just the other day, I had a sales coaching session with a student here in Dallas, and her owner of her company had asked me specifically to work with her on set sales processes and how to, more importantly, probe more deeply into getting into that client. In fact, what we were experiencing is that she does outbound phone sales for the most part. She does some face-to-face, but mostly outbound phone calls. And what she would get in the habit of doing is, rather than probing or trying to get through the brick walls or the gatekeepers, is she would just leave a message or even hang up, resulting in really no activity. So what we try to do now is put in set sales processes so no matter what happens, she knows exactly what's going on. And here's another thing. I asked her, I said, I was looking at her call list and her lead list, and I said, what about this client? What about this client? You know what? She didn't know where she was. She had no earthly idea about where she was in the follow-up process, even though she's making 40 to 50 contacts on a daily basis. And it's very easy to follow along with what's going on. So let me tell you exactly what I did with her. We came up with three key areas. First of all, if the client buys, what do you do? Okay, so number one is, if they buy, what do you do? Number two is, if they don't buy, what are you doing? If they don't buy, what are you doing? And the last one is if I get an excuse, what do I do? If I get an excuse, what do I do? Now, those are just three main easy ones that all of you can implement today with a set process. Just make, it's as simple as writing out a piece of paper and make those three columns across the top, and then you're going to put some different activities behind that. Now, for her, we actually went a little bit further, and we went exactly into, if I leave a message, this is what I do. Or if I get an excuse from a client, just like in one of the top three there, what do I do? So she knows exactly what's going on. So you take from there, you take each category, and basically, let's just look at it this way. If I get an excuse, then from that point you need to have an activity, and then you need to have when it is you're going to do it. So activity and when it is that you're going to do it. So as an example, in the mortgage broker, we have, basically, she had 7 different items. We knew exactly at what day she was going to do it. Here we go. The day of the sale, 15 days, 30, 60, 90, 6 months, and 1 year. And then what the activity is. And see, you guys need to have those set sales processes as well. So here's an example of what we did last week in this session. Is that, here's an example. If the client bought, here's her steps. Number one, she sends a thank you card, personalized thank you card, on the day the order is paid for. And personalized means she handwrites out the note, she handwrites out the envelope, she places a stamp, not the old postage meter thing, and she doesn't use any labels. So her second point of contact would be a satisfaction letter is sent to the client with a return paid postage envelope with a survey inside, along with a referral card, which is actually a main point card, and a handwritten post-it note asking for referrals. So let's look at the activity. A satisfaction letter and a postage paid return envelope, a referral card, and a post-it note asking for referrals. When does that happen? 5 days after the order is paid for. 5 days. So from the day of the order till 5 days afterwards, she now has 2 points of contact. Her third activity is to solicit for business in a non-typical fashion. Okay? So write this down. Third one is solicit for business in a non-typical fashion. So her thing is going to be not on the 30th day, but on the 32nd day after the sale is paid for. She is going to send pizza to that particular office and buy that office lunch for that day. Now know this, she's here in Dallas, Texas. She might have a client in New York City. Hey, it's pretty easy to know the address of that client, find out where the nearest Pizza Hut or Domino's is, and buy them lunch for a day. So, and then it goes on and on. She goes into her full activity was doing an anniversary card, and she was going to do that on the 63rd day. So she's going to use a little bit of Jeffrey Gitomer's, go on the odd type of days and those kind of things to make them remember. So, in wrapping up this session today, hey, these are some really great ideas to be able to let you have some set sales processes and increase your sales efficiencies by knowing no matter where you're at with that client. If you're on the front end of the presentation, the middle, or if you're ending or concluding with that client, you always have set sales processes to follow. So a great thing to really help you in that sales efficiency area. Now for next week, I just wanted to kind of give you just a little bit of a hint of what we're going to talk about next week. And next week's session is going to be titled, I hear and I forget. I see and I understand. One more time, I hear and I forget. I see and I understand. So that'll be next week's session. So with that, I wish you God bless and good selling. Have a great week. If there's anything that I can do for you, make sure to contact me here in Dallas. See you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.